up, guys? So Swears back in with another video, and Russell Westbrook has been traded to the Houston Rockets, and it's crazy. This NBA offseason has been probably the wildest I've ever seen myself. So let's just get into it. So Russell Westbrook was traded to the Houston Rockets for Chris Paul, 2 first-round picks in 2021 and 2025, and then 2 more pick swaps in 2024 and 2026. I believe the 2 first-round picks are both top 4 protected, or I believe it's just the one in 2024 and 2025 that's top 5 protected. But let's dive deeper into it. So getting started, let's just talk about what this means from the Rocket side. Let's just start off with the Rocket side. Now, I don't know how I feel about this trade for the Rockets. I mean, when they had originally traded for Chris Paul, I felt like it would work out because Chris Paul was good off the ball. You know, he is someone who can also thrive off the ball. He's a good defender, so you can have that pairing with him and James Harden and it'll work out well. But with Russell Westbrook, I'm confused. Both of those guys are super high usage guys. I mean, you talk about Russell Westbrook, maybe his usage rate isn't as high as it was in the previous couple years, but I mean, he's somebody who thrives. I mean, not even thrives, someone whose ball is in his hands constantly. And same thing with James Harden. So it's going to be weird to see how they are able to get that to work. And moving on, I mean, both guys are pretty inefficient. You know, Russell Westbrook had his worst shooting year of his career. He shot pretty bad. He was pretty bad throughout the season and in the playoffs. Some could say maybe his injury played a part into it, but I don't know. And then James Harden, same thing. I mean, he didn't shoot as poorly as Russell Westbrook did, but I mean, he's a guy who takes a lot of shots and he misses a lot of shots. I believe he did have the most misses this year, if I'm correct on that. But and those guys, the defense is also, I mean, there too. I mean, yeah, James Harden, you know, he's known for being a high steals guy. He can get some steals, but it's about the effort. I don't know how much effort these two are going to put in defense, so it'd be weird to see that. But then again, I mean, it's going to be fun. I mean, Russell Westbrook and James Harden, that's going to be a fun tandem. I mean, you talk about 2 guys who can give you 30 a night, 30-point triple-doubles a night. It'll be crazy to see what their stat lines look like at the end of the season. But personally, do I think it would work out? I'm kind of skeptical still. I mean, like I previously said, these guys are both high users. Like, I'm not even like high. I'm talking super, super, super high users guys. Guys whose the offense always flows through them. They're high ISO guys. You know, that's what they thrive for. That's what they, you know, that's what they are. You know, super high users guys who turn the ball over a lot. Who, I mean, oh my goodness, it might as well be a 4 out, 1 in. You know, that one guy dribbling Russell Westbrook or James Harden, everybody else is in the corner or on the wings. That's how the offense is for them. Maybe not, you know, obviously not the same with Russell since Paul George got there. But just talking about the good now, as I stated earlier, these 2 guys can both go for 30 a night. They can get you 30-point triple doubles. I mean, it's gonna be. Could we potentially see 2 guys average over 10 assists a season? I doubt it. At least they're friends. You know, they have that previous chemistry, even though that chemistry was like 7 years ago. But Russell Westbrook and James Harden are great friends, and we've seen Russell Westbrook take a step back into scoring a bit with Paul George there. So hopefully he does the same thing with James Harden. But it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting to see how this works out for them. But I mean, moving on to the Thunder side, there's not really much to talk about. I mean, it was a straight swap, obviously. Well, not a straight swap, but it was basically a swap. First of all, I really don't understand what Daryl Morey is doing. I mean, when you're swapping Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul, you swap the 2. You know, you don't really have to add all those picks. I don't know. It just tells me that Daryl Morey is getting very aggressive and just very hectic. So I think he might get fired soon. Not this season, maybe not even next season, but probably a couple seasons down the line, we can definitely see him get fired, and I wouldn't be surprised at that. But I just want to see how Russell Westbrook fits into you know, what's his face's Mike D'Antoni's system, because his system focuses strictly on shooting. You know, that's what his system strives around, shooting and fast play. Now Russell Westbrook is obviously an energetic guy, and he's a fast player, but the shooting is also a bit of concern. I mean, you talk about a guy who shot 29% from 3 last season, didn't shoot well from the free throw line, didn't shoot well from the field. So, yeah, I'm just very interested. I can't wait to see how this, you know, turns out. And I just can't wait for the season in general. I mean, there's so many dynamic duos out there. You got Russ and Harden, you got LeBron and AD, you got Kawhi and PG, And next season, not this season, but the following season after that, you got Kyrie and KD, and even the lesser ones, like, well, not the lesser ones, but even the ones that maybe aren't talked about as much as like a LeBron and AD and a Kawhi and PG and like Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley. That's going to be a great pairing to see. And then the pairings for the future. I'm excited as a Cavs fan to see how Darius Garland and Colin Sexton are going to fit together. And I'm excited to see how John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. are going to fit together. Trae Young and John Collins, I'm excited to see how they're going to elevate their games. Zion Williamson and Lonzo Ball, I'm excited to see what they can do together. You know, it's just so much excitement. Man, this next season is going to be so fun. It's going to be so fun, and I really can't wait. But moving back to the Thunder topic, I didn't talk about them a lot, but I think this was a great trade for the Thunder. I mean, you're essentially swapping out, you know, Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul for these picks. But I do want to say something really quickly. People are, you know, praising the Thunder for Sam Presti, for how he's been able to get a lot of draft capital. You know, how he's been able to trade for all these picks. I just think fans need to cool it and just chill out for a second, because these picks, they can be great picks. You know, maybe the Clippers, Kawhi leaves in 2 years. Same thing with Paul George, and then they're stuck with nothing. Maybe, God forbid, they have an injury and then they aren't able to compete, and then they just miss the playoffs, and then that pick with the new lottery odds ends up being the #1 overall pick. We just saw it with the Pelicans. They had like the 9th or 10th best odds, and they moved all the way up to 1. You know, something like that can happen. So, but then again, maybe the teams that they traded with are title contenders each and every year. I mean, the Clippers, Kawhi, and PG, that team, if they don't at least make the Western Conference Finals, I think it's a fail for them. Talking about the Nuggets trade that they picked, I mean, the Nuggets are going to obviously make the playoffs. They'll probably make a deep run too, so that pick won't be that high. And then even the Rockets, I mean, yes, I don't know. Maybe in 2026, 2025, those picks can be valuable. I mean, considering the fact that Russell Westbrook is 30 and James Harden is 29. We're talking 6-7 years down the line from guys who have, you know, play a lot of basketball. You know, the offense runs through them a lot, and maybe more so Russell Westbrook, a guy who, you know, game revolves around his athleticism. Maybe that will affect them 5, 6, 7 years down the line. So maybe that pick could potentially be in the lottery. But I don't know. I don't really want to talk about those type of picks, because those picks are like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years into the future. I mean, I can't really discuss them right now. You know, a lot of things can change in the next 8 years. They could possibly trade those picks to another team, so it'd be pointless to talk about them. But if I had to name a winner, I don't think there's a winner in this trade. I think this is such a confusing trade. But if it depends. Okay, I'm not gonna name a winner yet. But if the Thunder are able to trade CP3 to another team, then I would say they're the winners, because, I mean, being able to offload that contract is, you know, amazing, and still getting the picks, even though I just said I didn't want to talk about the picks, but that would be amazing. But if they don't, I think the Rockets are getting an all NBA type player. You're getting a swap for essentially a swap for Russ and Chris Paul, and I do think that obviously Russell Westbrook is a better player right now than Chris Paul. Might not be the better fit on a team, but that's just something we're going to have to see. But that's going to do it all for this video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. So Sports, and I'm out. Peace.